This is Goshen TV, broadcasting independently from Port Harcourt, South Nigeria.
Wow! I've got an amazing information for you. Goshen TV is here for you. We will get to watch special programs like Pandora Box, Stars, News Digest, Gist Hours, Comedy, and many more to enjoy our exciting, informative, and educative programs. Follow us on all our social media platforms: Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. And don't forget to turn on the notification button and subscribe to our YouTube channel to get our latest video. I am Bibi Sunshine with a smile. I'll see you on our next video. Oh, sorry, I forgot. For more information, call the numbers on your screen. Bye.
The political crisis in Rivers State is far from being over. A new group known as G23, suspected to have been floated to put the government of Governor Simi Nalaye Fubara in constant check, has been created under the leadership of Chief Tony Okocha, the APC caretaker chairman in Rivers State. On Monday, July 15th, Chief Tony Okocha addressed journalists in Rivers State, where he called on the National Assembly to amend the 1999 Constitution to allow INEC conduct local government elections across the nation. He also spoke on other issues revolving around political crisis in Rivers State. This is Goshen TV. I am Edith Chukwu. Let's hear from him directly.
Good morning, gentlemen of the Fourth Estate of the Realm, my dear friends, members of the press profession. We have called you this morning to address certain salient issues and points. And in my recent characteristic feature, I like to do extempore so that nobody does copycatism. I want to remove copycatism to allow you original. And the originality will stem from what you believed or what you heard. And then the stories will be different. Not to have a stereotype story. So it is the same mood that we will take on today. We'll address you and thereafter take questions from you, and we will also make our responses from you. I had either addressed you PC River State or as the representative of the River State on the board of the Niger Delta Development Commission. But today, I will address you as the leader of G23. G23 is an organization that encompasses the 23 LGAs. And we are thought that we should isolate the leadership of that group so that they are also part of this briefing today. From my extreme left, you will see from there, down here, are members and leaders of the G23. G23 also cascades to the wards and to the units in River State. In other words, it has 23 local government areas. So we just isolated a few of the leadership so that they are also present and to add vent and credence to the essence of today's brief. So I'm not briefing you as chairman of APC, far from it. Neither am I briefing you as the rep, NDDC, Rivers Rep, NDDC. But I brief you in concert with my colleagues as the leader of the G23 in Rivers State. So I want that point noted. Oh, it's noted, right?
Yeah.
We are taught that there are issues that we need to address. And those issues are very crucial and salient, especially as they concern the polity called Nigeria and Rivers State, particularly where we come from. We have listened, we have heard from some quotas and some persons that we have decided in our meeting to tag them ancient and medieval meddlesome interlopers. Am I heard? Ancient and medieval meddlesome interlopers. These groups, one, I'm told, I see him on television, is led by Ikenga Ugochiere, who is a member of the House of Representatives and flaunting a group, according to him, flaunted a group with a nomenclature of G60. We have today decided to condemn in concrete and indeed in absolute terms the activity of a man who should be responsible but that has turned himself to a hireling of Rivers State government and the governor. It beats our imagination that Ikenga Ugochiere, who I'm told is from Omukegu, Akokwa Idato, local government of Imo State, and represents the people in the green chambers. It beats our imagination that his concern, instead of the gully reading roads that characterize his area, instead of the flood issues that is sweeping almost away some communities and villages in his area, he had said practically nothing. His village is the center of IPOB. His village is at the center of IPOB, and the very brutal agitations. You will recall that some time ago, it was everywhere on the news and television that his house and property were burnt. He immediately played politics with it to assert that it was an action carried out by his political enemies. But that's not the truth. The truth is that he ate money belonging to the group that he fronts, the IPOB group. And the boys on their own tried to do something to get back at him. Ikenga Ugochiere is well known to me. We have done quite a whole lot together. This is his stock in trade. But I worry that at the stage that he has attained in life, the stage where you are appointed, rather you are elected to represent your people, there are certain things you drop. Somebody must grow up. So when we see you every time, any day, in the same hands, you show your hands so early. So we also interpret you as that. As responsible as he ought to be by virtue of the position he occupied in the society, he ought not to be a hireling. He ought not to. But he has chosen that path. And we're here today as Rivers people. We have the right to discuss issues that pertain to Rivers State. Okocha is not from Rivers State. Neither does he represent any constituency that has anything to do with Rivers State. Other than that, he has seen Rivers State as a conduit pipe to siphon money from a government that is rudderless. You know, when we talk about this rudderlessness of a government, you will appreciate what we mean. Now, it is no longer Rivers people speaking for Rivers State, but hirelings, somebody from Imo State, Okocha, is the one now talking for Rivers State government. I don't know if you remember that immediately after the Court of Appeals decision, immediately after Court of Appeal judgment, the Honorable Commissioner for Justice and Attorney General Rivers State was taken to task by the media people. And what was his response? He said that the position of G60 is the position of Rivers people, Rivers State. Isn't that ridiculous? That the position of G60 as enunciated, as espoused by Okocha, was the position of Rivers State government. And we felt that it is laughable that it is Okocha who will overturn the decision of a Court of Appeal. Because in that his vituperation, you will discover that he said nothing other than that the Court of Appeal was in error one way or the other. And for him, the Court of Appeal judgment was to be thrown to the trash can. And the Commissioner for Justice, who ought to know more than him, also being a member of the inner bar, the senior advocate of Nigeria, who ought to know more than Okocha, who is just at the tutelage of his life. I mean, at the kindergarten stage in his life, should be the one telling him and acquiescing to what Okocha said, and owning up to it that it is the position of Rivers State people. So we condemn Okocha and his machinations in Rivers State. We advise him to concentrate. We have not heard one bill, one motion sponsored by Okocha concerning what is happening in Imo State. Just take for instance his own home. I've told you that the roads there are gully reading. They are death traps. The community is almost washed away by flood. Please, I don't know whether any one of you have heard of any motion, either point of what that National Assembly will always want to raise. Have you ever had that at the floor of that house? A motion moved by Okocha. You are elected to represent the people, and your responsibility must be to the people. Even the Bible says you must remove the speck in your eyes before you think of removing the log in somebody else's eyes. Natural balance, we say charity begins at home. So what has been his contribution? What has been his responsibility towards his people that elected him? Take the Imo State as a state. We have had cases of killings, assassinations, and all that. Have you, any one of you, heard of Okocha's condemnation on those things? That is his state. But every 1 second, because he comes in here, he jumps into Rivers matter and assumes jurisdiction and as a meddlesome interloper, will begin to spew all manner of rubbish. We are here to condemn in absolute terms those rubbish that are typical of him. What is more, Okocha should know that he cannot equate with the political prodigies of Chief Ezenwoye Wike, former governor of Rivers State and now minister of Federal Capital Territory. They are miles away and apart. It's a categorical mistake to put Okocha and Wike side by side. For what? Wike has a record of being the chairman of Obiakpor local government for 6 years. The first to break the jinx of second tenure. How did it happen? Performance. As chairman of Obiakpor local government council, Wike was adjudged the best chairman of Obiakpor, best chairman in Rivers State, and was gifted 150 million by then Governor Peter Odili. Gifted him 150 million naira. I'm talking about 1999, 2000. Wike has a record of being the first local government chairman that asphalted roads. I'm not talking about asphalting roads in Nigeria. It wasn't about grading of roads, no, asphalt roads within the, and said that all the actions taken by both Justice C.N. Wale and something Q or something? DGQ. Yes, that they were in error. That in the case of Wale, it was a case of assuming jurisdiction on the matter that you ought not to handle. That dismissed it. It's simple principle of law. It's so commonsensical that you should know that if you don't have jurisdiction on the matter, you don't venture. One of my laws on that table, on that judgment table, described this as an effort in futility. And the court said you don't have jurisdiction. And so whatever you did, you were on your own. You didn't follow the law. On the issue of Q, I think the proper way to define it is the same way Abiola, in his Electoral of Proverbs, he would say you cannot abort a baby that has been delivered. He also said that you cannot shave someone in his absence. So that it was a case of shaving someone in the person's absence. And the court frowned at it and said that the principles of law, the principles of jurisprudence do not support such activity. And they nullified all they did. And the court went ahead to say, in their CTC, I don't know if you read it, they made 3 points. But the most important thing to express here, or to state here, is the fact of status quo ante bellum. It was not status quo ante, or a status quo. But they say status quo ante bellum. Please Google what that means. That you should return to the situation before hostility started, before any court matter at all, took place. And they should return back to school ante bellum. And what you see there would have been those pictures and videos of the governor in the company of the speaker attending occasions. So what other interpretation does anyone have that Okocha is the one interpreting and saying how he binds and how he does not bind? And you should be able to ask yourself, what is this man's interest other than pecuniary? It does not concern his state. It's not from Rivers State, I keep saying. So what is his business? He was hired. He was conscripted. He was recruited by somebody who does not have solution to problems to come and do the dirty job. But for us, it has failed, and it will continue to fail. So the Court of Appeal judgment was clear, unambiguous. Go back to what it is, or what it was, before hostilities started. It's called status quo ante bellum. That is it. On the Court of Appeal, now you still see that in spite of the Court of Appeal's decision, you still see three persons who call themselves an assembly and are still funded by Rivers State government to continue to cause trouble in the state. In other words, they are in contempt of the judgment of the Court of Appeal. Let me talk about the Supreme Court judgment to show you the level of disrespect for the Constitution and the law in Nigeria. It is only in Rivers State that persons flaunt themselves and call themselves caretaker, whatever. I was told today that one of them that was appointed chairman was boasting that the revenue of council from the federal allocation will still come to him that he will manage. I read, I don't know whether it is true, that there was an interface between the governor and heads of local government, where he told them, I don't know, social media can do it, all kind of things. But we also need to bring people to the fore. Where he told them that they should, when the money comes, they should allow the caretaker people access to the funds and blah, blah, blah. And I'm told that one of them was reasonable enough to say, yes, if you are given this instruction, please go to the press about it. Go and do a broadcast. And finally, they agreed that they would convene the meeting and all that. As I read that, I don't know whether it is true. You are the media people. You will know to tell us whether it actually happened. But whether it happened or not, whether it was concocted by any means possible, the truth of the matter is that the Supreme Court had outlawed any nomenclature other than elected officers and persons into council. And they cited clearly the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Section 7. You can go and read it and see what the law is. The judgment of the Supreme Court have been applauded by even enemies of government. You would have seen that Mr. President, in his renewed hope agenda mantra, or in strict followership of the renewed hope agenda, have taken power away from an infinitesimal minority and given power to the people. That's what it is. That election into the local government council will not be as appointed hitherto. That the people should elect who their governor, their chairman would be. It was impossible because with the financial dependence of local government on the state, you must do the bidding of the the governor. Else, the governor will dissolve the council and nothing will happen. But today, we have had financial autonomy for local governments via the judgment of the Supreme Court. We have had partly political autonomy on the side of the local government. The reason I say partly is that the governors are no longer at liberty to dissolve any local government council that they feel isn't working in tandem with their own motive. But we think that there's still a lot to do, or just a few others to do. The issue of election into office should no longer be the responsibility of state independent electoral commissions, because the system is already skewed. The governors will use it as another means of getting back what they feel they have lost. Because they formed the the SIEC, I'm sorry when I say SIEC, I'm talking about Rivers State. They formed the State Independent Electoral Commission and give them handouts. I was chief of staff, I gave handouts. I gave. Elections could be written inside chief of staff's office. It was done so in my time. We did so. We'll write the results and hand over to the commission. They will just, their business will go and announce. And of course, after announcing the results, if you feel aggrieved, you will present before the tribunal. The tribunal is as set up by the state government. They also have their own handouts. Now the appeal to whatever decision the tribunal takes is at the state high court. They will also have their handout. So what will you do else? You will accept your fate. And it is the reason why in all states where they have conducted election, all the positions were won by the governor's own party. Because that suggests democracy in other words. So we're also using this opportunity to plead with the National Assembly. So immediately, either by resolution or howsoever, remove the issue of election of local government leadership from the hands of the State Independent Electoral Commission. Let INEC, a body saddled with conduct of elections, be responsible for all elections in Nigeria, so that the grounds will be free, fair, and credible. You're already aware of my complaint concerning the RISEC and the activities here. That time I was complaining as party. And a system that has started in that manner will certainly tell you that, look, the end is already known. You can know the end from the beginning. So, but if you have an independent electoral commission conducting local government election, now you will see, more people presenting interest. Otherwise, under any state independent electoral commission, it is by selection. What will you care? Why will you go and conduct election and spend money when you know you have already lost ahead of time? So these are the issues we felt we should address. The last issue from here, before we take your question, a lot of people have been calling us to say to me particularly that they saw people, Obaki Kwere, going to the governor to express solidarity, and it's not even only solidarity, but they had gone there to destroy, to disown their own son, His Excellency is the West of Wiki. And I laughed. And I've been very careful not to answer them individually. At least now I will have opportunity to do so. I have been an active member of Ogbaki Query Convention worldwide. It's now Ogbaki Query Cultural Organization worldwide. As a young man, I led the group of students that went and destroyed a group else that was formed in parallel to Ogbaki Query. It was called Ikwere People's Assembly, led by, I don't know whether I think he's still alive, led by one Wechiya from Isheku. I led a group of Ikwere students to go and destroy where that decision was reached. So a group of persons, I have just said to you that a group of other people, other leaders like me, and I have said to you that I have been in the leadership of Ogbaki Query. I said the President General, now late Captain Elisha Made as the President General of Ogbaki Query then, proclaimed IYM as a third tier of government in Ikwere. They were coming after Ogbaki Query Convention, that is the father, and then IDA, Ikwere Development Association, that the Ikwere Youth Movement was a third tier. And I'm not aware that there have been any meeting of Ogbaki Query that I didn't attend, except I am not in town, or I didn't hear. I participate actively here in the group in our own area here called OPA. Okay? Obio, Port Harcourt, and this thing here. That's the acronym OPA. So I'm not aware that there was a decision of Ogbaki Query to lead a delegation on solidarity and to disown their own son. I was not aware. I wasn't part of it. And I can tell you that I know when I worked when I watched the television, I can only identify 2 or 3 persons who have been very active in the activities of Ogbaki Query. The rest who are flaunting themselves and carrying walking stick don't know where Ogbaki Query sits. They don't. I don't know whether you know that some of the people who went there, some of the chiefs who went there, have been sending text messages, even though we have told them, don't give us this alibi. Go on air and say it. So, oh, they were just sent text message that they should come to government house now that they will see the governor. And you are not part of that presentation. Go on air and say, you don't send text messages to us. As far as we are concerned, everybody that attended that event attended at his own condition. So this attempt to do face safing and all that is just not there.
Okay, sir. I have a question, sir. I have a question.
TV will offer you a platform to advertise your goods and services, as well as provide the opportunity for the coverage of your special events. To enjoy our various programs, follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Goshen TV. This is The Tonic. Goshen TV will offer you a platform to advertise your goods and services, as well as provide the opportunity for the coverage of your special events. To enjoy our various programs, follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Goshen TV. This is The Tonic.
This is a production of Goshen TV.